Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I really wanted to hit on, I've been doing a lot of these top 5 videos, top 5 reasons for this phone in 2020, and I want to start it off again with the iPhone 8 Plus. So the iPhone 8 Plus came out in 2017. I've already done a full review on it, so if you want to watch that one, you can go back on the channel and watch that. But I've compiled more than 5 reasons, but I don't want to say top 7 or 8 reasons because that doesn't really slide off the tongue that well. So I have at least 5 top reasons as to why you should pick up an iPhone 8 Plus in 2020. And starting it off, bro, the build quality on the iPhone 8 Plus is still amazing. I mean, there's not a lot of phones in the market that feel as premium as this thing does. And I have several iPhone 8 Pluses and I've owned them in the past. And even mine now, they have like a cracked backs and stuff, but I still feel the premiumness of these phones, which is impressive. With the iPhone 7s, like even the 6Ss, all those phones, I never felt like they were super premium. But when the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus came out, they switched up to the glass back. That's one of the best things ever. They put wireless charging in it, and for sure when I use an iPhone 8 Plus and when I use an iPhone 11 Pro as my main phone, I still feel the premiumness of this phone. And most probably you're gonna put a case on it or whatever, but the iPhone 8 Plus still feels like a very, very premium phone still, and that's one of its biggest highlights for sure. Now the second reason, and probably the most recent reason that's been added recently, would definitely be that checkra jailbreak. If you guys don't know, a jailbreak came out that's pretty much unpatchable for a few select amount of iPhones. The newest iPhones from the 10s and forward do not support it, but phones from the 10 down to the 5S do support it, and the iPhone 8 Plus is right there. It is capable of getting this jailbreak, which is so impressive, and it's unpatchable. You can be on iOS 11 and jailbreak it, and you can be on iOS 13 and jailbreak it. Whether you want to do it or not, you have that capability, which is awesome, and it's a humongous asset for the iPhone 8 Plus for sure. So don't sleep on jailbreaking. You have that capability on this phone, which is amazing, and I love that so much. Now the third reason, the performance of this phone is still top tier, and I just did a comparison between this and the 10R in 2020, and I'll tell you then, I said in that video and I'll say it again, the performance of the iPhone 8 Plus is still very, very good. Whenever I do anything on that phone, it's almost like it's instantaneous. Whenever I open an app, instantaneous. Whenever I close an app, instantaneous. It's a very good performing phone. I compared this phone to the iPhone 11 and the 11 Pros and all those phones, and it's still very good. I like the performance of this phone. It's still top tier. There's really not too much to hate on it there, and if your performance is like really, really high, if you need a phone that needs 15 gigabytes of RAM or whatever like that, okay, that's a little different, but if your use case is probably the average, even above average, I think you'll be perfectly set for an iPhone 8 Plus for sure. Now the fourth reason, the price point of the iPhone 8 Plus is very, very competitive. So brand new in the Apple stores, they're $549 or whatever. In the used market, you can pick one up for around $330, give or take a few dollars here and there. And I'll leave one link down in the description so you guys can get it from there and help support the channel at the same time. But the price of the iPhone 8 Plus is still very good. Really, it's not that expensive compared to the $1,000 phones we have now. And the 2017 phone, dude, this thing was released in 2017. That thing was a flagship at that time. And even now, it's still pretty much up there if you think about it. So the price point is one thing, but also the accessibility of getting the iPhone 8 Plus is so easy. You can go to your local Apple store and pick one up from there. You don't need to sign up for an eBay or Amazon account. You don't need to go and contact the seller. Oh my god, is this good? Is it in good condition? This and that. You can just get it brand new from the Apple store and be set, and that's one of the biggest advantages for the iPhone 8 Plus for sure. Now the fifth reason, or maybe the fourth, I don't remember, the software updates. This thing is still getting software updates for a while. That's a humongous asset. There's a lot of Android phones in the market that aren't even lasting as long as like the iPhone 7, which is crazy. So the iPhone 8 Plus definitely is one of the best phones when it comes down to software, which is something I really, really do like. And that's a huge asset for the iPhone 8 Plus. Also, in terms of software, it could last as long as the iPhone 10s potentially in my mind. So not only is it getting those standard several years of iOS updates, but it could potentially get an extra software update on top of that, which would be really cool. You have wireless charging on this phone, which is awesome. Touch ID, which is a huge thing for these phones nowadays. I mean, me personally, I like Face ID, but I definitely do like Touch ID more. And whenever I use Touch ID, that thing just is so beautiful, and I do miss it quite a bit. If I put my phone on the desk, I can just put my finger on it without hovering my face over it every time, and I really do miss it, and I hope they bring Touch ID back in some form in the future. And the last thing I want to hit on, the camera on this phone is still very great. The camera quality is tremendous. Like I said in all my other reviews, if you're watching my slides that I'm dropping, you'll see that I at least recommend a phone with a dual camera setup. It can be a telephoto lens, an ultra wide sensor, a mixture of the both, it doesn't matter. But now in 2020, phones that have at least a dual camera setup, those are the bottom tier I would recommend. If you have a single camera setup, you're kind of making yourself have a older phone than it really needs to be, because dual camera setup phones aren't even that expensive now in 2020. If you can go back in 2017 and pick up a phone like this with a dual camera setup and save a ton of money, that's probably the best way to go about it, man. And the iPhone 8 Plus has that dual camera setup, and it's a great quality camera too. So at the end of it, I would 100% recommend the iPhone 8 Plus in 2020, and those are several reasons as to why that back up that claim. If you guys want to pick one up, like I said, for the cheapest prices I found on Amazon, I'll link them down in the description below so you guys can get it from there and I'll support the channel at the same time. But that is pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys would check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.